Hello. Well, I was reading the book of about developmental psychology. Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory was in that book, and I actually wrote it on the flashcard, thinking that this is probably something that I should learn. And now, when I'm doing a test exam, a weekly test exam because in University of Amsterdam we have to do every week. Test exam, and also every month we have then a real exam. And so this week we have actually a real exam today, later tonight, and then I also need to do the weekly exams also. Now, so there is a question in this test exam about the Bronfenbrenner's ecological system, and I cannot answer that, and so I went online to look for it. This is actually quite interesting. Couple of words about the Bronfenbrenner. His first name is Uriye so it's Uriye Bronfenbrenner. And he was a Russian-born man who then at the age of 6, quite like I also moved from Russia. I moved when I was 4. He moved away from Russia when he was 6. Unlike me, he moved to America, and there he studied psychology. Then he became doctorate, studied until he had a PhD. I had a struggle there because in Finland we say that he protected his doctorate. I don't know how you say in English language. Anyway, once he had a PhD, he then started to work for the army and did different kind of psychological treatments at the time of Second World War. You will find more about this in his Wikipedia page. Quite interesting history. Anyway, he created the ecological system theory, which works like this. It has 5 levels. It has microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and then chronosystem. And this theory explains how this kind of different system, which I will then explain to you, affects the developmental of the child and how the child's action also affects this system. The closest to the child is the microsystem, and this system has school, family, neighbors, friends, work. So something that it is immediately next to the child. And also the child's actions, of course, affects this. The way the child behaves, that's very much affected by how the family receives the behavior of the child and what kind of friends the child has, what the child thinks about the neighbors, and so on. Then the next level is the mesosystem. And this system, what I understood, is a bit of in-between system of exosystem. Let me first explain the exosystem. Exosystem is local governments, parents, friends, extended family, mass media. So that's like the pre-cultural level of where the child is living in, and those local rules, local societies like church, maybe hobbies, part of the town. If you live, for example, in the north part of the town, how that part is operating, how that city government system is treating its citizenships. And so going back to the mesosystem, which is between this exosystem and the microsystem, the mesosystem is something that if, for example, the child's parents are very active in volunteering for school, volunteering for the like domestic organizations, helping for, I don't know, for maybe, for example, Red Cross, which is local organization in your neighborhood. And so through the parents' action, the child becomes very actively connected to a wider ecological system here. What a uncomfortable explanation, but I hope you understand that, at least for some part. What I'd like to underline here is that if you Google Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory, you will find more information about that. Now, let's go to the next level. That's the macro system, and that's social norms, economic system, culture, and political system. So here's an example I'm going to read for you. In a society that highly value individual achievement, children might be encouraged to be more competitive and self-reliant. This could influence parental style in the microsystem, with parents focusing more on personal accomplishment and independence. So, if the system values specific kind of behavior, like for example, very competitive behavior, like the child has to be a very strong individual. This culture, this system, of course, then affects the parents, because parents, they reflect themselves next to other parents, they evaluate their children to other children, and they want to be competitive because the culture kind of pushes the people into this action, into this belief that we have to compete, we have to be better than others, than those who are on the top are the best. That's what we are aiming for. And so this kind of system affects through the parents, through the societies, and like kind of it's flows down to the individual who is again in the middle of all of these systems. Now the final system, the chrono system, is the time. That's very interesting because it sets the period of when the child has to go to the school, when the child has to starts to take care of himself, when the child is time to look for maybe a family or retirement, if we get way further into the future. And also the time, of course, affects the way we just are. For example, we have internet. Our parents, when they were small children, they did not have internet, and that's widely affects the way we simply think about the world and the way we communicate. Now, to wrap this thing into a more thorough package, I'm going to go all over the systems again and try to describe them with one sentence. Bronfenbrenner's ecological system has 5 levels. The microsystem, which is immediately next to individual, and this microsystem is the closest culture that the individual has, like family, friends, schools. Then there is a mesosystem, which is a supportive system from microsystem to exosystem. Exosystem is then the closest small cultures that there are in the child's life, and which are affecting the child's belief, actions, and societies. So, for example, domestic hobbies, church, neighborhood, societies, and if children's father and mother is very active in these kind of small societies, the children becomes more connected to ecosystem. Then second to last is the macro system, social norms, economical systems, culture. the culture of the country, political system. As we know, for example, those who grew up in France, they are very different to those who grew up in India, let's say, because France has specific type of culture and India has a specific type of culture too. This is quite interesting actually to see when while I live in Amsterdam and we have a lot of different cultures here, and it does actually affect the adults and how they interact with each other. The final system is the chronos system, and that is the time, how time affects us. Okay, now I understand this Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems, and I hope that I also brought you a little bit of happiness and some insights of what these systems are about. See you.